So, sorry for that massive delay. But don't worry, we're no rush today. We'll go extra if we have to. Aquila, what's up, man? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just move over here and highlight this real quick. So I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, there's probably some transparent yellow, some golden brown, and some white mixed together. Right? And I'm pretty sure I just kept the opacity high and the moisture low. We're gonna just move in here to a tracer technique. We're gonna ride that rail. Like so. You always want to take a second to rotate the model. Always find that horizontal position. There we go. Now, before I jump the gun, I should probably drop some shade inside these. God damn it, my hands are just sticky with this soap on. It's irritating the fuck out of me. Go boy, what up, brother? 20 months, you legend. Go boy, 76 Aquila. Love you, Sir Charles. Says Dan that red pops. Thank you, man. Bubba Bucket says, what's the secret tech on that white? Buy an airbrush. Buy an airbrush. So let's go to making dark things darker real quick. So semi-opaque and kind of wet is the definition, is a pin wash. And we're going to use the tip of our brush and use the heart pull where we embed the tip. Pull back to our heart and use the moisture to kind of help spread it out. And I'm going to do this before I do any edge highlighting in there because I may need to use the edge highlighting to erase any mistakes. Let's pick up a little bit more black in the mix. Right there. Now this side is more pale and desaturated. This side is more saturated. We'll see where I end the paint job, and we'll make both sides look the same. Now let's run back to this mix. There's some yellow, golden, brown, and white. Let's rotate. Let's look for our tip of the brush, heart pull, high opacity, low moisture. Nope. It's not transferring. I didn't have enough on the brush. I'm reloading. Right there. Okay, now we're going to hit these side walls. We're going to use the side of our brush and gently just scrape the rail. Like so. that Cutie Patootie 2020? Thank you for the raid. Get some hype right there. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the show. Rotate the model, guys. Look for that high opacity, low moisture. Just a tip. Let's see if we can skirt that rail. I'm always kind of looking for kind of a hold your breath, swing it to right to left kind of motion because I'm right-handed. But it's always canting a little diagonally back to my body for these motions. We'll just sneak the tip in right here and just kind of hit that bottom. Right there. Rotate. Rotate. See if we can hit the bottom. Let me hit some of these nuts. Sneak in right here for a tracer right here. Scrape that seam. Let me warm up this putty real quick. This putty is not doing the job. Cutie Patootie. Looks amazing. Thank you. Now, let's drag a little bit more white into this mix. Let me rinse my brush just real quick. So let's just pull a much brighter version of this pale yellow we've created here. We're going to use this to kind of just ping off of some of the sharper edges. Like so. We're going to use the tip of our brush and pull gently back to our heart. High opacity, low moisture. Now, I think I'm going to engineer on this side. I think I'm going to take some of the brown and golden brown. I think about right here. I'm going to drag in a semi-opaque line right there. A little bit more moisture. And I think I'm going to take more brown. Walk it up, maybe sneak in a little bit of black. Like so. So what I was doing there was I was using a little bit more moisture in my brush to mitigate the opacity just a little bit. It's a little bit of black and brown mixed together. We're just making little heart pulls, like little just straight lines. Now, as we move down to this like brighter strip we created, I'm going to steal some yellow. And get that little strip going right there. We'll let that dry for a second. Now, because I realized when you have like a cylindrical object that's reflective like this, I find it best that when you establish like the horizon line, that right under it is darker. So I'm bringing that dark edge right under it. I'm going to add a little bit of moisture and brown to the mix. Because I have to kind of remove the highlight. I've allowed it to be kind of highlighted right here. And that needs to kind of go away. Okay, we'll grab a little bit more black. Semi-opaque. Sewing machine stroke. Now let's go back to this kind of golden brown highlight we made. Throw it down right here. Oh, did you make me some of that?
Yep. We're playing cards.
Oh shit.
Save your cinnamon stick.
Save it?
Yeah, and put it in the boil when you're done. But look.
Oh wow. Look what Bonet made me. Let me see if I can put this up on the screen. Glühwein.
Anise in it and everything.
Some legendary old school German tradition from your childhood?
Yeah. Some Glühwein.
Alright, I'm going to take a sip.
Okay.
That's incredible. Are those the cardamons? Is that the star anise? Literally a cinnamon stick holding this orange in place. I just knocked it in there. That's delicious. I feel like I'm just gonna drink this whole thing right now. Like, why am I waiting? Like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? Talon, Glühwein. I think you spelled Weineck correct, but Glühwein wrong. It's like Glühwein. I knocked. Tommy Jones says, "For fuck's sake, Kenny, the star anus made me laugh, and I streaked pain across my wings while trying to do the vein bits of Morty." I didn't mean to make you laugh. I'm sorry. The star anise. Is that what it's called? The spice. Oh, that's tasty. That's tasty. All right. Tom Duster, we have time for you to work your creative juices going. All right, what was I doing again? Sir Charles says, "I'm going to mail you my Death Watch and credit card because those edge of highlights look." I mean, it's cheaper if you just take my private classes and I'll teach you how to do this shit, dog. All technique. So what we're going to do is we're still using the exact same technique, Sir Charles. Okay, where I'm just using the thing that makes it brighter and the thing that makes it darker here. Semi-opaque. And what I need is a bit of a highlight here using the heart pull. And we need to kind of just walk it into the black. And I'm probably going to have to reestablish some of these highlights. Let's take a little yellow into the mix. Okay. Let's take a little bit of our yellow white that we had before. Very low opacity. We're going to use the tip of our brush. Now while it's still wet, I'm just going to grab some of the brown. Kind of disperse it a little bit. More of the brown. Wow. Recoil, what up, player? Tal says, man, I used to love getting it when I was stationed in is that Schweinfurt? Leave a deposit for your mug and return at the end of the night. Got your money back. But hey, that's where I think she graduated high school in Germany. So let's move up here. So I need to do a little bit of work here. A little bit of yellow, watered down. A little bit of touch of white in there. And now when you're doing the non-metal metallics, you don't need them to blend. Having straight up lines is actually preferred. Okay, let's grab some white. A little bit more opacity, less moisture. Let's go back to the black. And I'm using it to kind of reshape my white line because it got a little wacky. Rinse it, rinse it, rinse it. Let's go back to white. VOL.III says, just hit the exhaust with silver, gold, purple, and blue metallics. Good to go. Oh yeah, I mean, like, obviously if you don't run a painting show where you teach people how to paint, and you just want you guys to look dope on the table, so just trying to rebuild that line right there. I think down here, I want to just kind of maybe get a little bit more moisture on the tip. Take some of that excess moisture off with my finger. Just get a little shine line in there like that. Now, we take a little bit of the orange, what we pulled out, lower the opacity like a lot. See that? Slightly orange it up. How? All right, let's run back to our yellow white. And let's just reinforce some of the lines that I broke. High opacity, low moisture. Tracer. Rotate. Look for that horizontal plane. Light brush pressure. Rotate. Load back up. There we go. Pow! Light the way. What were you talking about? Hard pull? Not hard pull? It's a hard pull. I have a speech impediment. It's on me. Don't worry. I probably pronounce my T's as D's. I mean, I do. Think about it. Do you say, I'm going to write you a letter? Like some insane person? Or do you say letter? Like a real, like a rational human being? So, in English, we basically pronounce T's as D's. At least I do. So I try to sometimes you hear me say heart pull like an insane person, but the reason it's a heart pull is you're always pulling back in line with your heart, right? So it's going with your natural bone structure, right? So when you're pulling this way and just moving the model, my hand is never moving very much. It's just this, always with your bone structure. And even when we trace, so what I'm always saying is like you right to left. So even though I'm like finding a horizon line and scraping, it's not perfect like this. It's always canted a little bit, and it's always to my heart. So whenever you're bringing it back to your in line with your body like this, your center mass, you're way more control. If you were left-handed, it would be left to right. The mistake people make is they'll start doing like just all these different directions, and all these movements are just fail rates. Stoppy Jones says, I'm English and I pronounce my T's. I mean, yeah, you guys actually, like, we fucked up the language. I get that. I acknowledge it. Sir Charles says, I'm from the South. There's a lot of shit we say wrong. Yeah, like, some people in the South say, like, I'm going to go wash my truck. Like, so you just added an R? That's, like, the next level. It's not even mispronouncing. You changed the word. All right. Now, real quick, let me just do a couple. I want to just get a little yellow, a little white. Maybe a touch of the brown, the golden brown. I want to be a little brighter than what's there, above my highlight line. But I also want to like knock the opacity down a little bit, just in case I fuck it up. Heart pull. Here's a little bit more yellow. And I wasn't cognizant of my tip penetration there. God damn, my horizon line is fucked. Get a little bit of white. I'm not gonna keep fighting it. Done with it. Let's get a little brown. See what? Because I wasn't keeping an eye on my tip penetration, I accidentally painted inside these channels. And right here. Now, that came out real good. We have to fix this. This one looks like shit compared to... This one has got more saturation, so no worries. What we're going to do is, first off, get a little yellow, lower the opacity, yellow this up right here, get a little orange, lower the opacity, orange this up right here, get a little more orange, orange this up right here, just one little sheet, one little filter, and pow! Pow! JB's the exclamation point 2021. Hopeless saves. I had to pull it toward Kevin Hart. Wasn't paying attention there, and I put a little spot inside the brown. Slow your roll. Looking for that tracer. Cognizant of your tip penetration. Now, we got to drop that line down there, so a little of that golden brown and brown. Maybe a touch of yellow and white. Water it down, get her a little bit more brown maybe. Rinse it, rinse it. Let's get a little yellow, white, maybe a touch of the golden brown right here. Lower the opacity. Lots of water. Take some water off. Rinse. Get a little bit of yellow. Get a little bit of this brown right here. Yeah, it was too much brown. Went too dark. I need to kind of reset that spot. So now just put some yellow back in. I need it to be actually brighter. There we go. Just use your eyes. Now I'm going to grab some straight up white, high opacity, low moisture. Heart pull. Too easy. Let's run it back to this brown. It looks like brown black. Gotta fix that little spot I fucked up on. Rinse it, JBZ. No, that's all good, man. I appreciate the sympathy. Now let's get some highlight again. High opacity, low moisture. Now I think we could actually do like maybe a nice just like kind of like a straight line right there. Maybe grab a little yellow and orange. Kind of disperse it a little bit. Make sure it's nice and boxed out. Let's get a little of that brown and golden brown. Touch of the orange. Get a little yellow, orange. Gotta box it out. Good enough, good enough. Now we got to get back to these pipes. Like this is obviously some serious real estate. So let's run some black and some brown together and some white. And let's kind of repaint this carefully. High opacity, low moisture. Kind of keep a more warm gray. Sir Charles, what I think the biggest model commission I've ever had. I did a Thunderhawk once. I did at one time I painted a Warhound and a Reaver in the same commission. I mean, but those aren't even that big. I painted a Blood Angels commission that had like, well, I guess there's Imperial Guard, honestly. I painted a Deathcore Creed army. It had like 200 infantry models and 40 box tanks. So let's make sure our highlights kind of emulate the golds part. So you just drag it in kind of exactly like you did. Just adding a little white to the mix. Grab a little black. And we're going to just drag a little line between the pipe, the tailpipe sections. Grab a little bit more black. Put a little line under that highlight. Real simple. Let's get more bright gray in the mix. Carefully ride that rail using the tracer technique. Like so. A little bit more white. Now we just gotta kind of do the same kind of thing. You see we did like a real simple version of that, like on the actual exhaust pipe. So what we need to do is just kind of get that gray set up. Let's see, how bright is this gray? Is it a highlight? Not quite. Get a little white in there. Oof, got a little on his foot. That sucks. Just kind of using the heart pull. Let's use some of that more neutral gray to kind of cut into. Man, I might be using a brush that's way too small for this. Using a lot of heart pulling. Plenty of moisture. Pow! Tameki in the chat says, I'm definitely using this model's VOD for my Raven Wing. Edge highlight black. Paint, spray model black. Paint edges not black. What did LT say? How to paint black? Spray paint everything black, then paint everything not black. Not black. All right. Demeki in chat, what's up, brother? Let's grab some black, Demeki. And now we're going to kind of just draw a line right under that. Or kind of right on the center of both. It's okay if you fuck it up, because I'm going to fuck it up, so it has to be okay. Using that heart pull. I'm gonna grab some more brown. Grab some of the highlight gray. All right, we're just trying to get our shapes correct. Grab a little bit more black. Sneak in there. Now we're going to cut in onto this one. So we got like our nice like that split. A little too bright for the majority of it. So what we're going to do is just run back and make sure our gray is a little darker. Lower the opacity. We're just going to kind of glaze it right over the gray we have, and even kind of cheat to get a free bonus highlight line. See? I'm leaving that like above the horizon like highlight line. I'm just like leaving remnants of that brighter gray attack to kind of create that. Let's do it again. Kind of subtracting from the real estate and leaving just a little bit of highlight. Well, plus that says classic next level painting style. Make the black stuff black and color this stuff color. That's right, color stuff color. That's how we do it. Sure, Charles. A lot of people say the secret of black is blue. I typically use blue in my edge highlights. Black, I concur. But I'd say the secret of black is learning how to respect values when you edge highlights so you don't make a bunch of mistakes. Or can I try like this shit with green? It doesn't matter. As long as I'm respecting it. I'm bringing black back in. And bringing that really strong horizon line back into play. Right, getting that nice dark black right under that highlight. And we're just putting a couple pin washes in right there. Better order than a drink Rockstar Panda? Nah, we're good. So let's make sure to match this seam on these parts right there. Let's get a little brighter, a little bit more opaque, a little bit less wet. Run in the tracer. I gotta get a little whiter now here in a second. So, busting out that pure white. Let's get a little bit more on the tip. Using the heart pull. Right there. So we got like a nice warm gray shoved into there. Or just a tidy little bilateral fucking horizon line situation. Real simple. I'm not going to do any more work than that. On those tailpipes, let it ride just like that. A little tricky on it's a long pull, like, you know, in addition to being a heart pull, which those are harder, it is a long, hard heart pull, and those can be a little tricky. So you just got to make sure you're always just staying in the right position. Now back here, we have to look at this viewing angle. So let's make sure we can trace this right here. So we want to just put a nice seam around it. And now let's just put some black spots in there. We're going to use stippling, aka sewing machine. And we're just going to create a illusion that there's holes. And I'm using, like, you know, semi-opaque black. Pow. Slamu, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate that. Now we got plenty of time left, so let's do some really ghetto non-metal metallics. So we're using the warm browns. So I'm gonna sneak in here and see if I can get a nice bright line right there on this part, using the tracer and then the heart pull right there. Okay. We're gonna just use a modified tracer right there. Now I'm gonna just cheat with a quick heart pull. Right there, just like a couple shines right there. It's not that good. It doesn't look good to me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the dark glaze. Kind of go in between the two. Like that. Grab some of the brown. Right there. I feel like I should have done this first because it's kind of a high risk area. God. I might have to just kind of stay here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of reset. Bright. Dark. Like that. Bright. Grab some white. It's very wet. I kept it wet on purpose. I'm going to run a heart pull. Right there. And let's see if I can get away with this. No, I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride real subtle like that, okay? Now, on that ball in the middle, fuck that thing. Okay, let's go. Let's get some bright gray. Like that. Let that dry for a second. Demeki made Sir Charles work harder on his lemon drop army. Tommy DeWitt, what brushes do I use? Exclamation point monument. The Huff in chat. What up, brother? Let's keep it going. We're trying to do some fake metal effects. See this round spot in there? Let's not get too cute. Let's just hit what we can. So I'm going to just reach in deep with a heart pull. Like this. Don't get it on the leg. Okay, almost cartoonish. Let's grab some black. Gray. How, son? Let's go back to white. So it's bright gray. Let's run a quick heart pull where we're going to just kind of hit this perimeter right here. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, stipple, stipple. Rotate. Heart pull. Now, if I say anything that doesn't make sense to you, like any of my vocabulary terms, feel free to ask. We explain them. I take any opportunity I can to explain them. They come from my private curriculum, exclamation point classes. I teach private classes, and we have a fully fleshed out syllabus and curriculum. Now let's go back to something a little darker. Let's go something a little brighter. This is ambitious. No, I'm not going to do it. We're going to let it ride just like that. And so non-metal metallic is an effect, okay? If you're coming in for the first time, and it's an effect that is predicated on a procedure. And inside that procedure, some really, like reliable techniques are deployable. Mostly what you're seeing me do on these little small, like hidden spots is just utilizing our edge highlighting strategies and techniques. When we were doing the bigger surfaces, you saw me using some of our glazing technique, which if you can glaze, you can do you're good to go. So almost any time somebody comes to me and they want to learn how to do non-metal metallic, they want to pay me, I just say take my class, and they're like, no, I just want to learn this. I was like, but if you don't know how to glaze, it's gonna be real hard. Like, and in order to teach you how to glaze, I need to teach you these 3 other things first, because glazing is like kind of the end of the game, right? It's like the final technique. And then when we go through our effects together, it's really just me explaining the procedure, and in one of my black belt students are like dealer's choice on techniques, as like this technique I would find more useful here, but really it's up to you. So we're no longer learning techniques anymore. We're just learning how to put them in the right order to sell you on something. And effects are just tricking you to see something that's not there. This is ghetto non-metal metallic. We're doing like the minimum amount of brush strokes and blending to reasonably sell your eye on perceiving this as reflective. That's really what the effect is. It's a 2D effect applied to a 3-dimensional surface. So I'm just trying to make you see like the bones of what your brain expects to see in kind of a chromed out situation. I'm not even going that hard. And it's always the same. When we break down the effect, there's just a couple of terms we use, dealer's choice on the techniques and the approach. But ultimately, once you understand the procedure of making things look reflective, it's super easy. Demon Knight Gaming Reforged. Demon Knight Gaming Reforged. Thank you for the follow, brother. Sick name. The Hub says, hey, I'm sorry to hear about Troublance. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Sucks. Made a decision last night. So, since the tailpipes are like the focal point, the deeper in I get, the more like basic following the procedure becomes, because it doesn't really matter. This is going to sell you on what's in there. So we're just using other concepts in the procedure. So we're doing a really ghetto horizon line, and this is already warm gray. It's already warm gray in there. That's a little bright, so I'm going to add a little black back in. And we're using the heart pull, which is a strategy for brush control, primarily used when we add highlight. But I'm currently using semi-opaque paint, and you'll find also my curriculum that we define all techniques into a moisture to opacity ratio. There's really only 2 things when it comes to painting. It's how opaque is your paint, how dry is your paint. Now we're putting the black line intact, and I'm breaking some of my brush control rules because there's really no other way to get in there. So we're putting in the horizon line. We're going to now try to use semi-opaque and a little wet. And I'm using the moisture to help spread it. And we're doing what we call is a wet glaze. And now I'm going to take some more highlight. And while it's still wet, I'm going to embed some in down low. And now we're going to go to high opacity, low moisture, really bright gray. We're going to use the heart pull, maybe even a tracer right here. We're going to ride this rail. And we're going to stipple here using the sewing machine stroke. And now we're using a very abrupt highlight right there. Now you can see a little bit of rim right here. So on the rim, we just have to do some extreme highlighting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a tri-blend. So it's going to be bright here. Then I'm going to grab straight up black. Here. I'm going to kind of split the difference and make them blend together right here. And then down at the bottom, so if you kind of peek through, oh, gotta put yellow in there by accident. So if you kind of peek around the, oh god, there's still yellow in it. So if you peek around the tire and you look, you're gonna see that there's also kind of a highlight down here. So like basically you're like, oh cool, hey, it's all shiny, good to go. High opacity, low moisture. Now we're going to switch it back to black. Go back to something a little brighter. Down low. Go back to black-ish. Right here. Get that little tri-blend going. And now there's like, now from this frame, because for some reason my tailpipe is like way off the bike here. Because reasons. Just gonna fucking ignore it. Dead to me. Feel like, can I get it? Can I make that go in there? Yeah, I feel like it was probably supposed to glue some way different. Wasn't paying attention when I snapped that joint back together. Long nines. Is it harder to do non-metal metallic techniques when the model uses so many blacks and grays? That's a really solid observation. So yeah, if I'm trying to do, silver, which is, black and white, and I'm also trying to have a black, paint job, which has like black and white highlights, then there is a moment when you can lose contrast. So what we've done is all the highlights on the black are done with coolness, aka some blue embedded. Now all the silver, I literally jammed brown into the black, and so I made a gray that had a bunch of brown in it. So we made sure that all of this is kind of a warm gray, and we don't let the black really leave black, except for the edges. So we just got to make sure that our tailpipes are as gray as possible and very warm. But there's always going to be a contrast issue, and you could solve that with aggressive highlighting and pin washing. Sir Charles, all you done today is learn an 8-hour course in molding and chemistry for work this morning. Fix something to eat. Learn from this. For you feel Rico's forming right now. God, you're hilarious. Now let's keep it going, okay? See, now there's like an ammo belt right there, so we're just gonna use some really ghetto tricks right here. So let's go with stipple. And so we're putting a highlight on the outside, and it's semi-opaque, slightly wet. Like that. We're going to grab some of the much darker gray. Right down the center. And we're going to try to split the difference between those two. Using the sewing machine stroke. Just going to blend them in with some low opacity. Now we're going to grab some straight up black. And we're going to try to do a heart pull down the center. Like that. And since I'm messing with the black, I'm going to take this opportunity to get inside these channels. And these knobs right here. Now, rinse. Let's go back to pretty much white. You kind of want to do that on the outside now. We want to do a little bit of a tracer technique, high opacity, low moisture. Rotate, look for that horizontal stroke. Now see if we can carefully ride this rail with the tip. Might need to load back up. High opacity, low moisture, pretty much just raw dog paint. And we're using pretty much pure white, which is very disrespectful. High fail rate if you fuck up. It's important when you do a non-metal metallic that you also highlight dark edges. Like right there. So we've got that ammo belt looking pretty good. Now you just want to make sure that take a little bit of black. We make sure that we got a good border right here between it and the actual bike. And we're going to have to come back and deploy some highlights on the bike there. Now there's like a vent right here. See that? Now, same thing. Tri-blend. Just doing straight up lines. Kind of just using the black and the warm gray we mixed. And some white. Semi-opaque, meaning there's a little bit of water in the mix. And it's okay if it doesn't blend at all. It's okay if it's just abrupt. See, we just made it like cell shaded, basically. See that? Now you're going to just rinse it down and get some high opacity, low moisture white. And now we're going to box it out using the tracer technique. And we're just using like the bones of the technique on these things that are not the tailpipes. See? And then as it all starts to come together, your brain just kind of is like, oh yeah, it's metal. Got it. We'll get this side done and then we'll do a whip session. So we got these little cross pieces right here. So again, we should probably do a bit of a horizon here. Using the stipple right here. Right here, since I still have this on the brush. A little bit more opacity. We're using the tri-blend right here. Bright, dark, bright. And we're gonna actually throw a line right here. More white, more opacity, less moisture. Again, we're not even really doing non-metallic here. We're just giving it some extreme highlights. And your brain's just like, yeah, I'll buy that. That's kind of how it works. But here, we're going to give you the horizon line. So we're going to go to pretty much straight black. Using the tight little heart pull. We're going to go with a much brighter gray. And we're going to try to do a line right above this. We're going to go more toward a neutral gray. Now we're going to have to kind of create a fake box around this because there's no real perimeter. So here you just want to be very careful. Draw a line, put a line right there. Right there. Rotate. Right there. Right there. Literally just it's just line art. It's not, there's not even really any blending in there. Right here. See, because this thing's little and like got a bunch of little cool edges, all you gotta really do is just give it a like kind of go around the edge. run some of the neutral gray. Just stipple this in right here. Let's go a little darker, a little bit wetter. A little brighter. Kind of lost it for a second, so I have to bring it back. I'm going a slightly different approach, or I'm almost just highlighting it kind of like without even thinking about metal. Except for now I'm going to cut in that horizon line. Now, let's take pure white. Paint the center for now. And let's see if we can very carefully give ourselves some like really bright points. Now, we already did this once, so let's see. Let's grab orange, yellow, a little brown. So I baited this really bright gray in there, and I'm going to kind of just glaze it with a brown, yellow, orange. Same thing right here. So we're just going to do those kind of back to the bronze color. BS Panda, am I a scientist? No. Fuck no. So this is a little bit of that golden brown, guys. Fake horizon line. The white. A little bit of white. Keeping it real loose. All right, let's do a whip session, guys. Exclamation point whip. Let's see what you guys are working on over the weekend. We're working on Black Templar. The VODs are here on Twitch. Maybe, you know, I feel like there's a couple of accents we probably have to paint too. And like now that I look at it, should also probably, since I'm right here, get some of this brown and black. Should probably paint this doodad. The nice top coat of warm gray. Maybe pull out a little white while it's still wet. Just run in a quick horizon. While it's still wet. Ooh, my man Talon. Talon. Can I get some strong man love for Talon? He says, witness me while he's taking a shit, I think, is what his point was. Talon, thank you, brother. $20. He's on the Final Four. Legend. I'll give it a shot, Talon. $20. Talk me into it. Talon, I'm going to take a little white and just kind of run the quick tracer. side of the brush. Rotate the model. Try to avoid making a sweeping line and just kind of keep it like little straight lines. Now, I'm kind of tempted to paint this thing in our warm gray. This thing. This thing. Now, I'm also looking for an excuse to deploy more red on the model. Do we use those as an excuse to be more red? Like this right here even. I feel like this one should definitely be red right here. So I'm going to take a little bit of bright gray. Just kind of set it in there. Kind of feel like that one should be red. But also, I'm just kind of also flirting with the idea of making them metal. Like, look, I just did a quick little, like, experiment right there. That's a mistake. That's not how I should blend it at all. While it's still wet, I just kind of reset it. Just kind of flirted with it. Reapply, paint the whole fork casing red, this whole thing in the front. It might be too much. Light the way ahead now for now. All your plans may have gotten fucked up, but I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Thanks, Light the Way. Particulars Chaos. I'll probably just do a freehand on his arm, on his shoulder here. Perhaps, I don't know. Let's grab some red because I'm just curious now. Let's grab some bold power red. Maybe a little burnt red. Particulars Chaos. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do freehand. I just don't know if it's going to be on the side there. I might have to do something up here because that seam is so heinous. You see? If I can let that seam get away from me. So let's just take a little of the burnt red. right over the gray. Thin down, a little wet. So it's like semi-opaque. A little wet for a base coat right over the gray. Talent, kind of hoping 2022 brings us Primaris Captain on bike. Is that what you're excited about? Who that? Release the budgies, the buggies, the bougies. Thank you for the follow, brother. He says, hey, you're on the podcast. He says, how did I know you had a painting channel? I literally say endlessly to everyone that we're live on Twitch all the fucking time. Release the budgies. He says it's a bird in Australia. Well, welcome to the show, brother. About 10 or so minutes left, guys, in our big promo, our big giveaway. Welcome a new chatter in here. Make sure you at me when I'm painting. Release the bougies. When I'm painting, or I oftentimes don't see it. Meticulous, some chaos chosen. Yeah. Okay, so like that burnt red just dried up a little bit. So let's run it back to some pyro red. I'm just gonna raw dog it straight off the palette. High opacity, low moisture. Okay, guys. We're gonna use the heart pull strategy. This is the tip of the brush. Pull back to the heart, rotate. We're gonna use the tracer technique right there. And the heart pull technique right there. The Huff. Can I get some strong man love in the chat for my boy, The Huff? Exclamation point, Cowman right there. He's going after it. He says, let's add some spice here. Thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for looking out for me, brother. It helps a lot. Just had to fucking cancel a flight. Oh, man. I'm so happy I'm hanging out with you guys, though. You guys are going to keep me sane. Appreciate it all, man. And also, like, thanks for giving me money. Huff. That's just some heart pull technique right there. I'm deliberately being a bit disrespectful with this red. And we're just using the tip of our brush, pulling straight back to the heart. Heart pull. I say all the words like this. Every letter. Gonna be all self-conscious about how I talk. Yeah, red is balling. I always go with my gut. Shadow Gig, are we doing an event at LVO? Yes, sir, brother. Long War doubles, homie. So put a little line right there. A little line right there. Now we're going to put some fake inner lines. Right there. Right there. Let's get a little bit of moisture on the tip. Use extreme tip. Run it back. Looking sexy. Waldo's? Oh, that's my dude right there. You can't see him though, but I can see him. I can see his name over here. It says, "Happy Holidays." Thank you, Waldo's. I do appreciate the support, homie. Can I get some strong man love in the chat right there from my boy Waldeezy? Oh yeah, dude. I'm definitely gonna be FaceTiming my mom on Christmas. Talon says, "If I adopt you, I can't just tell my wife the frog skins I throw at you are just your. I could tell them that the frog skins are just your allowance." Nice. Well, call your mom up. Talon said, "I said, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? Like, if she's looking to adopt, like, you don't need. You know what I mean? Already conceded that your mom is equal to my mom. Seven minutes left, guys, in the big promo. Now, look, let's just run some real sketchy-ass bright red over this bolter. Doing some old school, just GW style. Just kind of trace the lines like a fucking hobo.
It's so damn hot.
Rotate, look for that heartful. Oh my goodness. Meticulous chaos, man. First off, yeah, you should cut out milk. It's not good for you. Second off, my man, Meticulous Chaos just dropped a C note on the chat. Says, "I know you hate it, but I've been wanting you to pay Black Templars for years." Maybe you can pay Hellbrich and pay him without having to use black. It's just black. I pay black all the time, Meticulous Chaos. I don't understand. We edge highlight black all the fucking time. Thank you. Making some strong man love in the chat from my boy Meticulous Chaos. Love Minis says, "Now you have to figure out a meal for Christmas. Presents if you gave that up for the trip." Well, I got Bonet a couple things already. Small things, thoughtful. Hope she likes them. I got some Eggs Benedict material. Bonet is going to probably make us Eggs Benedict on Christmas breakfast. So I got my whole family sorted. Now, the problem is I got my niece's presents right here, and I got to ship them out, and I got to be like, well, they're not going to get there in time, and they might get lost in the mail. You know? So, saved up my pennies. Spent some schmeckles on some Beats by Dre on Black Friday. Talon says, "My mom cancels Christmas on me this year." / She canceled Christmas on you? Oh. Hope she's okay. Oh, she's worried about your dad. I get it. Having people over the house. Rockstar Panda, I was able to get him to Beats headphones for their. That's really what they wanted, but I couldn't afford it. It was out of my budget. But then on Black Friday, they were literally half off, and like they sold out. And I was lucky to get them, but they're here, and they were exactly in my budget at the maximum with the deal on Black Friday. So I'm like super stoked on that. And I was just gonna bring them with me and drop them and drive down to their house. They're awesome. Dove said, Dropped 35 bucks. Thank you. Said add some overnight insured shipping, bro. Bro, it's Christmas in like 4 days, bro. Like, that is wasting money. It's not gonna get there in time. And remember, they live in Florida. Huh? Maybe you're not thinking about it. They live in Florida. Florida mailman. You know what I'm saying? Florida mailman. Professional incompetence says, for the man with the most perfectly proficient pronunciation on the platform, hope you guys are having a baller Christmas regardless of the distance this year. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have the most ballin' proficient. I have my vocabulary and my pronunciation is prolific, even. Thank you. Now, I'm feeling a lot better now that we can see the bolters a little bit better. Like that, we're bringing that red back up. Now we can go one step further. Okay, Waldo says it's Christmas donation time. Thanks. Oh my God, is this our last stream before Christmas? I didn't even think of that. I don't even have anything for that. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you guys have a great holiday as well. Didn't even consider it. I'm the worst. Yeah, because Ganj, oof. Ganj doesn't play games. I am for real. Ganj, the unjust. Red, white, yellow. Okay. Real old school basically makes dwarf flesh. Merry Christmas. Sorry to hear you had to change your plans. Hope all is well. Well, let me tell you what, man. Give me $120. Feel a lot better about myself right now, dog. Thank you. And a lot better about the fucking insanity amount of money we spent on plane tickets that we didn't get to use. That they only issue you credits back for, so I didn't lose them. It's just I didn't get to use them. Still out the cash flow. But you know, I'll find an excuse to use them. At worst, I'll use it to go to Adepticon. Now, Ganj, thank you so much. Ganj, didn't you recently win a couple models? I feel like I mailed you some models really recently. Ganj, he has like my whole shit. Him and the Huff, both. Now, it's an old school trick. This is ancient GW, where they used to literally use like dwarven flesh and elven flesh to highlight the reds. So that's essentially, if you really break down like a bottle of flesh tone, that's what it is. It's like, hold on a second, let me look at this. The Huff says, I'll grant you are definitely proficient in profanity. I only really have one or two profane words. Well, we're in overtime officially. Rockstar Panda says, Merry Christmas, man. I appreciate that, brother. And the bot is certainly going to shit upon thine ass. Is it going to shit on Rockstar Panda or the Huff? Let me look. The Huff.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
Thank you guys so much. We're at overtime, about 1:35. Gonzio Justice. Yeah, I recently got the Orc Duder. Oh, from the demon. Oh, and the awesome rat demon. That's right. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for your support in all things. Also, black belt in the next level painting 101 curriculum. And 201. Meticulous, you did just reset the overtime clock and you were back on top. He says, hopefully I won. I mean, you're currently winning now. B Core also coming in clutch like the legend that he is. And the bot obviously shat on you. Meticulous. Can I get some strong man love for both Meticulous and my boy B Core? Meticulous Chaos. I'm going to square you up, brother. Wait, I don't think I gave you enough. Yeah, I gave you like half. I can't do math. Math real bad. Math hard. Meticulous Chaos shooting up here. This is why there's an overtime latency clock, is because like the bot is slow sometimes. Talent says your profanity proficiency is profound. I must pontificate. What are you, my dad? My dad's the master of pontification. Now, again, pretty much any flesh tone, if you break it down out of the pot, and you just start adding more and more yellow and white to the pink, you start to get like obviously elven flesh, kind of like a dwarven flesh in between. You see that? It's just really that simple. Which is why when you use, bottled flesh tones, and then they never feel like alive, because they're really not. They're just desaturated yellow red.
And his name is John C.
Keeping a high opacity. It has been reset. Overtime clock still going, guys. Huff with the reset. Now, Huff, I'm just going to go in for another little subtle round of little tiny highlights, if possible. Okay. I'm trying to reach in real tight. This is not easy. I feel like this one's a little sloppy. I'm not going to lie. This one probably needs a little love. Right there. So, he says probably not at Met. So, he just answered you, Meticulous Chaos, and he's telling you that, no, you're not winning this. He's throwing down the gauntlet. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm not totally happy with my red. So, we'll take a little burnt red and bow power red, lower the opacity, and I'm going to just use the sewing machine stroke. Kind of soften that negative space in there. See, I like that because you got to realize, we're spending a lot of time on the side of the motorcycle, but 99% of the viewing angle is this, and if we have this horrible seam. So we're going to have to fix this seam. And I think one of the easiest ways to fix that seam might be to do a racing stripe. What do you guys think? Kind of feeling like we're just going to have to, fuck it, run a stripe. Or, this could be ambitious. 22 seconds left. The Huff is on top. Meticulous Chaos got knocked down. Rockstar Panda says, hell yeah. B-Core says, red go faster. Obviously, it would be a red stripe. You guys both know. 13 seconds left. Hellfire Hobbies. Want a stripe showcase to see him even more? It would. You're right, which is why I have a new idea, which is better because the old idea is stupid. 3 seconds. 2, 1. The Huff is the winner. And then it comes in after this. Will be refunded. Thank you guys for your support. Meticulous Chaos. Sorry, Ganj. You came in after the buzzer. Apologies on that. Rules is rules. I will send you that refund. Take those Yo Dogs back. Unless you just want the Yo Dogs. But the Huff indeed takes the Cowman. But you all get beanies. Final four. Decal over the seam. Talon, you know that ain't gonna work, dog. We'll put a decal over that thing. Get the fuck out of here. God says, damn old computer. Aren't you like a literal computer programmer? No, you're not. I don't think you are. Cletus says, you said a lot of words there at the end. I did my best. Now, the Huff, Ganj, Meticulous Chaos, and B-Core, beanie time. Let me know which beanies you want so I can add it to the list of beanie production. You know your list of 6, and then I will tell you guys my idea. So guys, check it out. There's 6 in that link. Only way you can get these beanies is right now. B-Core. Got it. Ganj. Your new computers are your work and gaming machines. This is your painting and streaming watching computer. I see. Well, I understand that. But I would also say, you know, like with airbrushes, I'm like, you should have not a shitty airbrush and a good airbrush, but 2 baller airbrushes. I feel like you need 2 baller computers. But also, what beanie do you want? Recoil could do a scroll. No. We can't have anything that reminds you of the seam. We have to at worst say the seam is a part of it. And I have an idea. There has to be a reason for that seam to be there. Then I think I know the answer. To be fair, it's almost always my answer. Meticulous Chaos, B-Core. What do you guys want for beanies? I already got beanies. I already got B-Core. Huff. The Huff, what do you want for beanie? Broken Aquila for the Ganj. Got it. Broken Aquila for Huff. So you guys, that's a popular one for this promotion because that's one of my favorite designs I have. People don't buy it in a shirt that often, but rarely. JBC, thank you. Meticulous Chaos might be taking a shit, so we'll have to wait for his response. Glue big ass demon skull chain down on top. Oh god, you would say that, Talon. No! It's obvious when you think about it. When you think about it. Get this perfect rectangle. This perfect center line to hold us true. I think there's only one thing we can do. And I'm going to take some gray. I'm going to start drawing it right now because I don't even care anymore. This is happening. So what I'm going to do here is heart pull. What do you guys see? What do you guys see? So I'm doing it ghosted out like this so that I can make corrections later. See? Let's go back to black. That's right. That's right, baby. Meticulous Chaos. Oh, I just saw you responded. You will never wear it? Your anti-logo on your clothing. Do you want me to, like, get a beanie that says anti-logo on my clothing on it? Wait, Meticulous Chaos. Do you not own any of my things? Do you not have one shirt? Damn. What can I give this guy? You will do. What if I took the logo off and it just had the phrase on the back? Or what if I took the logo off and it just has the heretic label on the inside and it's just a beanie? Recoil, how stupid of me. It's your go-to. That's right. We'll see if I can workshop it with Meticulous Chaos. There's got to be a thing we can get him going. We got to be able to make... So, keeping your head warm is like a low-profile beanie that has no identifying marks on it. Or do you just not wear beanies in addition? Meticulous Chaos. So only started throwing out the big bucks here lately. Well, I do appreciate that, man. I just want you to have something that you can find useful. And I do have the ability to further customize the beanie. Now, if there's a solution to your no logo that would make you feel like you have something truly custom for you, pitch it to me. Because I can make a lot of things happen. I'm a graphic designer. Professional competence. Will it be a yellow hazard or red, white, red? See, I haven't decided yet. This is why I'm keeping it kind of more ghostly right now. I haven't decided what kind of hazard stripes it is. So I'm using the heart pull to make sure we got a nice sharp line right here. Oh, I'm definitely going to do it down here too. Rockstar Panda. Definitely. And I'm keeping it, like I said, in the go spectrum for now. So I figure it out. But we're definitely going to do it right here. How about a next level inspired Chaos Star? Oh, I got you, Doug. I've got those. I got assets for days, baby. And I'll make it, and I'll put it in the blog post once I've made it. And let anybody who's ordered a beanie to make an adjustment, because I haven't ordered the production yet of all the beanies. Wait until I have them all. So people will be able to retroactively go back if they want this new meticulous Chaos Star. Ooh, that's what I'll call it. Probably not going to be half star, half cross. Meticulous Chaos, because I'm not going to go on a full kick graphic design redo. That takes me a lot of hours. I'm going to try to use my assets that I have, because I have that. Like, I have Chaos Stars that I own the trademarks and stuff on that I've drawn. That I can kind of like transform into something new, relatively a couple hours of work. So I'll see what I got, and then I'll throw it up on the next stream and let everyone know, like, they can go back and say they want this. And I'll call it Meticulous Chaos Star, which I think is fucking dope. All right, let's just get a little bit more going here. Tiny dog alert. Run it back to black. Using that to reshape my lines that got off. So now we get to use the center line to help us stay straight doing this type of chevron. Which is, because that's a tricky one to do. I got you, Meticulous. Sure, Charles, how about an ultramarine beanie? I mean, I could just throw that in my swag shop. Like, that's not going to be the exclusive shit. But I can get that going. I'm eventually going to have pretty much most of our designs in beanies. Okay, let's. Like I said, I told you guys I was doing a little overtime, so let's just go a little bit brighter. And we're doing a little wet glazing right there. Sneaking a little bit of white in. And we're just being very gentle. Trying to keep that shape going. Because I'm also low-key entertaining the idea of them being black and white. Jimmy Norris? I know, dude. That's how I feel about this. It's not black enough. But I like the black and white too. But I feel like it doesn't. It's not going to read as caution or like chevron. I think it has to be yellow. Like it looks more like just a cool racing stripe. But I think the second we introduce like actual yellow to it, I think it's going to be transformative. So. But either way, I would do it the same. I'm just going to carefully introduce more and more white. And just kind of bring in a subtle pre-highlight as I'm doing it. And I'm keeping it real low opacity. And I'm still like, just taking small stabs at it, right? And then I can carve black back in. And then I'm going to take it to, pure white and then probably send the yellow. But like I said, I may do gray. But the cool thing is like whether or not I'm going to go yellow or gray, same thing. I'm going to take it to this white first anyway. And I'm using low opacity, a little bit moist. And I'm taking my time because every now and then I'm going to fuck up. Like I slightly fucked up my line right there. And I'm going to spend a few more minutes on this before we get out of here today. There we go. Jimmy Norris says, "Ah, yes, make them more like their hated enemy, the Iron Warriors." Bunch of haters. Using the heart pull. But now the white is growing on me because I'm just like pretending it's going to be white. Using the heart pull, high opacity, low moisture. I don't know. Go back and forth. I'll probably have to sleep on it. Let's just do a little bit more work on here. Talon says, "I'll give you a pickle and a nickel for them Blood Angels." and 3499.95 in a year. Oh, you're ridiculous. So using high opacity, low moisture, traditional heart pull strategy. See, and then we're gonna have to like clean up the edges here, here. Let's make sure to brighten this up. It's a little dark. And I would just kind of like slowly work my way to white with glazing technique. And then I'll kind of at the end, the last second, I would make a decision if it was going to go yellow or red. You know, like red actually might ride too. But I think that's a pretty classy way to hide that fucking seam. And make it part of the paint job. Because that thing was going to piss me off forever. So this side is a pretty nice snapshot. We still got to do some accents on this side, right? We did a bunch of that metal. Sir Charles? Yeah, maybe Photoshop. I mean, yellow would be intense. It'd be so old school. What do you... So, yeah, I'll fuck with it in Photoshop. That's a great idea, Sir Charles. And then I'll have the final decision when we come back. And we'll decide what we're going to do with those stripes. But they do hide the seam. And we've got 2 more opportunities to finish this guy this year. Talon, you think going to white would be sick? I mean, like, I like it. I like the direction it's going, no doubt. Looks a little off to me in white, though. That's my problem with it. But it is thematic, like, you're right. Like, it is pretty fucking thematic, man. There's no doubt. Oh, you know what? You know what might sell it? You know, let me just do this because I have the opportunity before we get out of here. So there's this little, there's just little nodules right here, right? I'm just throwing a little bit of burnt red there. I have this suspicion that if, like, this accent is painted red, it would... Yes. That's what's up. And then this one right here, the same deal. I hit a couple of top accents and kind of obscure it, so it kind of ties in with the side theme. Then I think I'm sold. I think they think that would sell me. Hellfire, because the shoulders, yeah, you're right, because these are much whiter than these, because these are just gray right now. We have to take them to white and engineer in our transition. But you're right, that's probably also interacting with it. But honestly, I think also like getting these nodules, I think is a big part of it for me. Like just like real sketchy, look. Like super ghetto so you can see. Like I think that's going to be a big part of it right there for me. Particulars Cat says, you guys laugh. I once bought a shirt from a company I really support, like an actual shirt. So much I researched the manufacturer. Bought 10 plain shirts of a kind of OD green. I wear them almost every day. It's my civilian uniform. Rafi, I used to like literally only exclusively wear Dickies, black Dickies shirts. I had like 13 pairs, 13 sets. I get you, dog. So I feel like that, having that not, because it's like, you know, it was broken. The design was broken. And now we have that, now we have those over it. Makes me happy. And I do agree. Like, we'll go white. You guys are right. I like that. And we'll take them to really excessive white, just like the shoulders. What a fun little thing. Cool. I'm having fun.